Hey guys, welcome to this week's Sister Scoop, where we are coming at you with a ton of Marvel news that we have to fit in just about 10 minutes. So let's get started right off the bat. We had a crap ton of trailers dropping. I mean, new Thunderbolts trailer, new Cap 4 trailer, and What If Season 3, which is literally around the corner. We've got our first look at the show in I guess, the finale, which we won't get into that debate. That could be its own thing. But yeah, I guess like the final season, it comes down to this.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this, as you may know, was tied to, D23 in Brazil this weekend, which is kind of why we got the trailer dump and info dump. We'll get to the next one too in a second. But there was a lot of stuff coming out of Brazil this weekend. So I have to say, like, when I saw that Cap 4 trailer, I mean, that might be the best trailer they've put out in like a really long time. Just stylistically, it's so cool. I think it really shows, the tone and the thematics that they're going for the film. The film itself looks
For
amazing.
sure.
I mean, oh my goodness. And then, I mean, not that I, want to say that I didn't enjoy the Thunderbolts because I totally did, but, knowing What If is right around the corner and seeing how they were able to integrate some of the much newer characters, like much newer than they've even gone in season 2. I was really excited to see them and see how they're put in different, situations. I mean, Storm as Thor definitely comes to mind. So there's some really, really good stuff. And I'm excited that that's only like 5 weeks away because now we don't have to wait that long. But a lot of crazy good stuff coming out of Brazil this weekend.
Oh yeah. And so I'll give justice to the Thunderbolts since you didn't mention it specifically, but I will talk about it. I'm so excited for this movie. I mean, obviously I can gush about this movie nonstop, and I think I've been since the inception of it. Like, I'm so excited for it. And I think this trailer really just showed us the tone. As you were kind of saying with Cap 4, we finally really understand the direction I think the Thunderbolts as a whole are going to be going. I mean, we knew, like, come on, you have a bunch of, I don't want to say anti-heroes, but essentially anti-heroes coming together. Like, I needed us to go back to that kind of Avengers level comedy. And not only are we doing that, but look at the personalities. Like, you don't have Cap and Tony who are ready to, like, gonna go at it in the first movie. And you don't have all the pressure of that. You just have, like, really a bunch of hooligans that are just coming together for who knows what purpose. And I'm really excited. I think it's going to be really, really funny. And I think it's different than what we've seen. But I do want to ring the bells of What If season 3, because you did talk about the new characters. Thank God.
I
Because let's
know.
not forget, guys, What If is part of phase 4. This was not in existence prior to Marvel coming back in 2021. So we have had, I can excuse season 1, right? Like, we can excuse that. It was early enough that I get it. And a lot of the beginning of phase 4 was still repeat characters. WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki. Like, we still had a lot of people coming back. But, like, come on. We talked about it in season 2, which was last year this time. Why are we not seeing phase 4 characters? This is insane to us. I think we saw like a few things here and there. We had like the 10 rings were mentioned, but we didn't actually have like Shang-Chi. Like, it was weird. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy to see that they're finally incorporating these new characters. And thank the Lord, we actually get to see Sam's Cap in What If.
I know.
And y'all are going to hear me go off about that.
I know. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I would love to keep talking about it, but we literally don't have time because there have been so many updates. So I need my notes for this one. Kevin Feige has come through, giving us a crap ton of updates. I'm just going to info dump and we'll go through them then. But Scarlet Witch on her way back, thank God. Blade is still coming. I mean, we've been hearing that for like 7 years, but that's fine. Cool. And this I know Taylor is very happy about. Miles Morales is projected to be coming in live action after Beyond the Spider-Verse, which I think a lot of us have talked about that being like the perfect way to bring him in. And it sounds like that's exactly what they're going to do.
I I don't think you all understand what Kevin making that announcement means to me, because it's not like a full confirmation, but he basically was like, yeah, we're thinking like post Beyond the Spider-Verse, it makes a lot of sense. Like, we're excited to bring Miles into the MCU. Like, I'm pretty sure he specifically says the MCU. So like, even though Miles is technically owned by Sony, I'm almost positive the quote was specific to Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know we've all talked about Beyond the Spider-Verse making that transition. I've talked 1,000 times about Secret Wars and how that is the perfect gateway to really bring him in and, be that time in live action for him, bring him into 616. We can do a whole lot there. I don't know how to explain. Like, my body is like thrumming with excitement. And for Kevin to say the words Miles Morales and MCU in the same sentence was kind of mind blowing. And I don't have anything real or tangible to say other than that I am going to die from just pure happiness.
Yeah, I have to say that was the one that I think got me the most. Shockingly, but also not shockingly, because honestly, guys, I've never given up on Wanda coming back.
No,
Even
you
at the
never
end of
did.
MOM, I was like, she's not dead. Y'all are just like the funniest people trying to tell me she is, because that's not true. So when he was like, yeah, she's coming back, I'm like, well, no crap. No crap. Knew that.
Well, and Lizzie's
period,
been
the
out
end.
here being like, well, when I come back. So, like, it was never really even off the table that she
And
was
she
going to
literally
be
is
back.
like, she's like, as soon as they have a story that's worth bringing her back, I'm here. Like, and also, again, you're moving into Doomsday and Secret Wars and all that, in which she can play a very pivotal part in the story. And people have been talking about that. Like, the direction they've decided to go makes even more sense for her to come in. Plus, now you've got her kids coming in even more directly. Like, come on. Like, you're not going to sit there and tell me that a building being dropped on her killed the Scarlet Witch. Like, okay.
I know.
Like, of all the ways, really? So that one didn't shock me, but I will say the Miles Morales piece did, because I didn't expect him to so blatantly pretty much say it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I am excited. It's something, again, we've been talking about. We said that was the time to do it. And if that's what they're going to do, even better. Like, it's those moments that, as fans, when you just like theorize something really good and you're like, if they do it, that'd be really cool. And then they actually like might do it. And you're like, oh my God, that's really awesome.
Like literally wish fulfilled.
Yeah, right. So very exciting. That one was probably my favorite piece of news out of that like announcement group. But then the last thing, which is kind of huge news, is Denzel Washington for Black Panther 3. He is confirmed to be in it.
I love this. I mean, obviously Denzel is a legend.
Yes.
But I didn't even know they were making Black Panther 3. So
no.
It was not on the slate. Nobody said it was in development. I'm thrilled. Y'all know how much we love the Black Panther franchise, even though it like serrates my heart every time I have to talk about it. But I love the franchise. Obviously, Shuri stepped in. There's so much storytelling to be told with her yet. I don't think anybody really thought that franchise was done. It's more just, it's been so quiet now for 2 years, and there haven't even really been rumors or whispers that it's being worked on. So it was more just like this incredibly pleasant surprise that they might be further along in the development phase than I think we all thought. So what I want to know is, where is it fitting on the slate? Because I didn't read all of the offshoots of Secret Wars, but I'm pretty sure there is an offshoot that is like parallel to the main continuity, not the main continuity, but the main comic itself, that is like about Black Panther and Wakanda. So knowing that, there is definitely an opportunity for her, because I think in the comic it is T'Challa, but for Shuri in this case to, play a role in Secret Wars. Obviously, I mean, everybody's going to be on there, but
True.
I'll be interested to see, like, is Black Panther 3 before or after Secret Wars? How does that all play into everything? Obviously, we know young T'Challa is now around. How does a potential time jump fix, those issues that we talked about at the end of that film in terms of timeline? It just opens a lot of doors. And also Denzel Washington, like, so many things.
Yeah, and honestly, I have to share, I think my first thought was, oh, so he's the villain. Like, immediately I was like, oh, they definitely just brought him in to play the next villain. Because, and I could be wrong, but I hope me and however long it is till we get any confirmation or whatever ends up being right and can point back to this and say, haha, in early November, I said this, or like mid-November, I don't even know what day it is. But regardless, like, I'm not going to say they don't bring big actors in for one-time roles in a movie, and it might not be one time. We don't know that. But knowing it's the end of a trilogy, technically speaking, I know it's been through the ringer as a story as a whole. I know they've had to pivot a lot, but it is technically the end of a trilogy. I mean, to bring a big actor in like that, I'm kind of like, oh, I could see him playing a villain type role across from Shuri and M'Baku, who's obviously the king right now. I could see that, because who else are we being introduced to that's that important that we haven't met yet in Wakanda?
That's a really, really good point. I was also trying to think about it. I think for me, where I was leaning was they lost a mentor figure in Angela Bassett's character, and the Queen obviously perishing in the second film. So maybe he steps in as that kind of older, wiser mentor figure for her because she no longer has that. So you and I went in completely opposite directions. You were like, they just cast the villain. And I was like, they just cast the new mentor. So I think either one are valid. I'm super excited. I think he'll kill either role. I mean, he's definitely played, morally gray characters. I don't know a ton of his filmography that I've seen personally, but I know he plays some morally gray characters, and he can definitely do dark, gritty, all that kind of stuff. So I'd be really excited to see whatever he does, because I mean, the man is a legend for a reason. He's got like 2 Oscars. He's absolutely just a beast when it comes to acting. So that is like, ooh, Denzel. Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm just so excited. I don't even have
Yeah.
words. But we've hit our time limit, but we've also hit all our topics. So we're gonna wrap up this week's Sister Scoop. Make sure you guys join us again next week for another round of Marvel news, and check out the podcast, as right now we're kind of in the middle of finishing up Venom and also finishing up Agatha all along before we start moving into different content that's starting to come out. What If, Craven the Hunter? It's all right around the corner, guys. But keep up with us, because as always, we're here doing Marvel news, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.